What is up, guys? We are back with another graphics card video. I know we've been putting a lot of these out on the channel, but we have a launch today, so of course it's kind of important to talk about this card. The card in question, which again launches today, is the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660. That is the non-TI version, so a little bit of a step down from the TI version, which we took a look at in our last video. Now, just like that, this card, or the launch, is completely partner driven. So we have no Founders Edition cards or anything like that. So the card that we're taking a look at today is actually a really awesome card. It's MSI's GTX 1660 Gaming X 6G. So let's go ahead and take a look. The GTX 1660 features 1408 CUDA cores and is based off the Turing architecture. While it does have 6 GB of VRAM, it is slower GDDR5 memory. The card has a reference boost clock of 1785 MHz, but the card we're taking a look at today boosts all the way up to 1860 MHz. Taking a look at the GTX 1660 Gaming X from MSI, it has that distinctive Gaming X design that MSI has used on this current generation of cards. The shroud covering the card is black, and then you have gunmetal accents around the cooling fans. The card makes use of MSI's Twin Frozer 7 cooling solution, which has 2 of MSI's Torx 3.0 fans. These fans have 2 different types of fan blades, which result in better airflow and static pressure. These fans sit on top of a heatsink stack with 3 large 6mm heat pipes that will make direct contact with the GPU. MSI tells us this cooling solution provides 13% better cooling performance than the previous generation. On the back of the card, we have a premium backplate, which is brushed aluminum. You can see the MSI Dragon logo towards the end of the card, and for those wondering, MSI is using a custom PCB on this card with a 4+2 power phase design. Along the top edge of the card is an MSI logo, which is actually going to light up with RGB lighting when you have your system powered on. Towards the end of the card is an 8-pin PCI Express power connection. The display connections are the same as on the GTX 1660 Ti, so you have 3 DisplayPort 1.4 and a single HDMI 2.0B. Before we get into testing, let's go over the RGB lighting on the card. There's RGB lighting on the top edge of the card where the MSI logo is, and you have little accent lights above and below each fan. With this, I feel it's like one of the best implementations of RGB lighting on a lower end card, and you even get some reflection off your motherboard, which is pretty cool. The lighting, of course, can be controlled by MSI's Mystic Light software. We are going to be testing the GTX 1660 in the following setup. All right, guys, so that is the GTX 1660, the non-TI version. And I know the first question a lot of you are gonna have is, what's the difference between this card and the TI version of the card? The first thing is going to be cost. You're gonna see about a $50 difference between the cards. Secondly, you have about a 9% decrease in CUDA cores. And the third thing is that you have slower GDDR5 memory. So in our testing, that equaled out to about 14 to 15% decrease in performance in games at 1440p and 1080p. So that's something you're definitely going to want to consider. But what does, what kind of card is the GTX 1660? For me, it's a great 1080p card. It's a card that's going to do well over 60 FPS, going into even higher frames in a lot of games at the highest setting. So it is a perfect 1080p card for me. If you want to move up to 1440p, you definitely can. You can definitely turn down your settings a little bit and get well over 60 FPS as well. But, this is a great esports card as well. So if you're playing titles like Apex Legends or Fortnite or Counter-Strike or even Overwatch, if you're playing them at 1080p, this is a great card for that. Now, the card that we took a look at specifically is MSI's Gaming X version of the card, and I'm such a fan of the gaming series from MSI. The cards look beautiful, and they have that Twin Frozer 7 cooling design, which keeps the card nice and cool, and also has that awesome backplate, and you're gonna get RGB lighting as well. And I think their RGB lighting is some of the best for these lower end cards. It looks great. You have like 3 different sections on the card that lights up, and it even reflects off your motherboard, which is pretty cool as well. Now, if you have any questions about this card, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below, and be sure to hit the thumbs up on this video if you did like it. And of course, the last thing is that if you enjoy our tech content, go ahead and subscribe. Till next time, catch you guys later.